Yes, indeed. Helps quite a bit if you remember to plug in your flight controls before you start streaming. But we're here now. We got it. It's all good. How's it going, everybody? I'm going to do a couple flights tonight. Hopefully going to have time for 2, assuming all goes smoothly. New Portland down to Reno, take advantage of the new bonus field that just activated yesterday or the day before. And then from Reno, I'm not sure where. We'll figure that out as we go along here. So right now, weather's all pretty reasonable. Nothing special. You can see the METARs here. Portland's got a little overcast. Reno's got a little higher overcast. Should be fine there. For brief, I'll show you what I've got here. Going to try for Cascade 2 departure to Poly, direct to Hart, and then the Hart 1 arrival, which should give us a flying time of just over an hour for this first leg. We do have some headwinds along the way. Pretty much the whole way we'll have headwinds. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's get this thing going here. Already connected, so I'm going to go File. Let you watch along with this here. We're going to be Alaska 417, Boeing 733, Slant Lima. Should route at around 450 from Portland to Reno. Cruise altitude we have planned will be 350. Okay, seems a little audacious, but we'll see. For a 1-hour flight, I suppose we can do it. Alternate will be Sacramento. As mentioned, we'll do Cascade 2, Poly, Hart 1, and File. Sweet. Okay. Let's go ahead and run our aircraft accept checklist here. Batteries on and guarded. And to get our ground power plugged in, please. Thank you. Alright, let me know how the audio volume is. I can turn the plane volumes down and the ATC up if needed as we go. Alright, galley power on, gotta get that coffee. And let's go get the IRSs going, since those take a while. I haven't flown this plane in a while. I haven't flown anything in a while, so it's a good chance to get some practice in. Yaw damper on. Audio. Get COM1 queued up there. Fuel pumps are off, crossfeed's off. We do not have any fuel in the center tank at the moment, so that's fine. Emergency lights armed. Cabin signs to off. We'll just leave no smoking on. Window heat is off. Pitot is off. Anti-ice is off. Hydraulics, engine pumps are on. Electric pumps are off. Air temperature to normal. Recirc fan is on auto. Put the left pack on. ISO valve's already in auto. Bleed valve, left's on. APU's off, right's on. Cabin control. Yeah, we can do that now. This is fine. Flight altitude will be 35,000. Let's go check, verify the Reno altitude. Uh-oh. Whiskey says he caused a runway incursion. Tell me the story. What happened? Landing at 4410. Or thereabouts. Okay. we'll do for now, we'll get the APU going as soon as we're ready to actually get this thing going, but for now, it's fine. Yeah, looks ready for clearance. So, oh, I should put check the weather. Yeah, 3033. I guess I'm not hearing myself. There we go. 30, wrong one. 33. Port on delivery on 120125. Oh, an intentional runway incursion. Okay, well that's a little better. If it was as requested, that's probably fine. All right. While we're sitting here on ground power.
Southwest 628, contact Albuquerque Center 134.32.
Yeah, like I said, let me know how the volume of the ATC is. I can change that up and down. All right, get my notes here. Alaska 417. Portland delivery, good evening, Alaska 417 for clearance to Reno.
Southwest 628, Albuquerque Center, climb maintain file 340.
I probably got stepped on by the other guy checking in.
Alaska 417. Portland clearance to Reno Airport, Cascade 2 departure, Poly intersection, then is filed. Climb via SID, except maintain 6,000. Expect flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 118.42, squawk 4260.
Okay, clearly the Cascade 2 Poly, was that a climb to 6,000 or climb via the SID? It maintained 6,000.
Maintain 6,000.
Okay, so we'll just climb to 6,000. Departure frequency 118.42, squawk 4260 for Alaska 417.
Alaska 417, read back correct.
All right, so we can go ahead and do our programming of all that. Whoa, forgot my hotkeys. It's been so long since I flew this plane. All right, 6,000. It's been like a week, but that's long enough for me, so. Boy, I really forgot him. There we go. Okay, got our position in the route.
Ground American 2240, get Charlie 12, like a push and start to Tango if possible, please.
American 2240, push on the Tango.
Reno.
Push approved, 2240.
Park on runway 6 and ignore request to vacate. Man, that must have been fun. That's, I think we're going to get 28 left. Routing. We will go Cascade to Poly, off to a left. I don't know. I had this problem last time in this plane. I select a transition, and it puts a different transition in here, and I sure can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. Cascade 2 to Poly. But it just won't do it. All right. Well, that's fine. We can do it ourselves. As it turns out, on this departure, there's only one. Like, it's got it up to here, and then we just need to put this last one in. So I can do that. To Poly. From Poly, direct to Hart. And then we will arrive on the Hart 1. I don't know what approach yet, so we can program this one for now. Let it do that. That's fine. Yeah. So just so you can get an idea of the arrival here. The Hart 1 starts you at Hart and basically drops you off at Libge or Libga, which is the IIF to one of the ILSs. So if that all works out, that should be pretty smooth. All right. Yeah, that all looks pretty good. I will go into the legs mode here in a second and verify all the crossing restrictions are accurate. In the meantime, let's go put in our weights. We have a zero fuel weight today of 45.0. Cost index planned of 24. And a cruise altitude of 350. Hey, freaking guy, good to see you. Okay, that all looks good. We won't do any derating because we are not paying for the gas, so who cares? Flaps 5 takeoff trim will be at 3.4. V1 129, VR of 131, and V2 of 140. Go up here and put V2 plus 60 or plus 20 into there. I don't know that we have much else to do in the FMC at the moment. Oh, let's go check the legs and make sure everything checks out here. All right, let's pull up the chart again. Make it so you can see both at the same time. Okay. At or above 540, we will turn to PEG-T. From PEG-T, there's no real altitude restrictions, just a speed restriction at Wanos, 250 knots. Cost index, yeah, I can explain that real quick. Basically, it is a function of the cost of fuel for the FMC's purposes. So with a high cost index, it can go up to, I believe, 200. The FMC will plan a more aggressive climb and cruise speeds and get you there that much faster, but using that much more gas with a lower cost index. The FMC will be more conservative. You will go slower and have a slightly longer flight, but use proportionally less gas. So the tool I'm using, SimBrief, if you put in your desired time en route, it will spit out a cost index that's supposed to more or less correlate to the brief that it generated. Now, technically, it's using slightly different performance data than what the plane is using, so I don't think it's super precise, but it's close enough. That is my understanding of it anyway. I hope that's mostly right. So back to verifying on TOSA. Next page. Gizmo, Poly, Heart, Jagum, none of those have any crossing restrictions until we get onto the arrival.
American 1130 contact.
On the arrival, to be Ilza at 13,000 or above. Got that correct. Libgi, we have to be at or above 12,000 and 230 knots. We got that in there right. I don't know why this is in there twice. Maybe we can just move it. There we go. And then the rest of these are from the arrival, and I don't care about those at
American
the moment.
1130 Seattle Center, roger.
So that all looks good. Don't think there's anything else that we need to do right now in the FMC. Okay. Let's see where we are. We are at Charlie 1 at Portland, which is like right here. And we will need to push onto Tango. Almost certainly. Ski Charlie says he didn't understand a word of that. Well, I try. I can't guarantee that you'll that any of it'll make sense. The other thing we need to make sure for out of Portland, we need to climb heading 283. So let's go ahead and put that in autopilot before we forget. Okay, let's get this thing ready to push. Oops, shoot. We're on auto ground for pressurization. Yeah, exactly. It just gets more aggressive with the planning and has you burn more gas. Start up that APU. There we go. I saw our IRSs came up, so that's all good. Wait for this thing to stabilize, and then we will keep her going here. To come back down, and we should see this light up in just a second. Oop, there it is. Okay, running on the APU. Disconnect ground power. Turn our logo on, anti-collision on. This is X-Plane 10, not FSX. This is the IXEG 737-300 Classic. All right. Flaps are up, gears down, auto brake is off. Weather radar's off. Speed brake is in. Parking brake is on. TCAS is good. We got the
Southwest
FMC.
628, contact Los Angeles Center 133.55. Good day.
Looking to see if there's anything else we need to do before pushing. I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Before pushback, we need some fuel pumps. AP's already on. Make sure everybody's sitting down. We'll get to the window heat going. I read this that you do this because the window heat takes a little while to warm up, and if you have a warm window, it's less likely to crack if you hit a bird, which is terrifying.
Portland ground, American 2240 Tango, taxi, whiskey.
American 2240, Portland ground, runway 10 right, taxi.
Oh.
Via Tango Bravo 3,
Interesting.
Bravo, cross runway 21.
They're going off of
10 left, or we're just
We're going
preparing
off
for that
of
right now?
American
1
2240,
zeros.
runway 10 left, taxi via Tango Kilo, cross runway 21.
All right,
Huh.
10 left via Kilo,
Well, that
cross
changes things a little bit.
21 for American 2240.
We gotta change to the other direction. That's weird. The calm wind runways at PDX to the 28s. But we're gonna go completely different. Instead of going this way, we're gonna go this way. So we gotta go take care of that. We will probably go off of 10 right. Okay, so now we have our first fix is River, Kosig, Hades, and then Kism. And our departure heading will now be 103. Let's go throw that in there. There we go. Okay. We should be good to push, but I'm not confident that we can get all the way pushed without infringing on this area. As you can see, it's pretty close. So we'll dial up ground control on 121.9 and see if we can push onto Tango. Portland ground, Alaska 417 with the weather. We'd like to push off Charlie 1 onto Tango.
Alaska 417, Portland ground, push on the Tango, approved.
Approved for 417. Let's go. I'm going to run my timer. Which I will talk more about later.
Portland Tower, American 2240 departure, 10 left.
American 2240, point turn 10 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 10 left, American 2240.
Okay. You can get the first engine started in here. Start valve is open. Oh. Help if we get some air. There we go. Now we're getting some in too. And you can see we're definitely going to go on to Tango a little bit here. So I'm glad I got that approval. Get some gas. Alright. Start valve is closed. Wait for the N1 to come up here. Temperatures are going back down. Looks like a good start for number 1. Let's start number 2. And 2 coming up.
Falcom 1099 ready for departure, clearance forward, if not airborne by 0330 Zulu, time now 0318 Zulu, report
22
airborne
and 2. Get some gas. Okay, start valve is closed.
American 2240, contact departure.
Departure 2040.
Let that temperature come back down.
American 2240, Berlin departure, radar contact, climb maintain 15,000, clear to
There we go.
zoom on navigation.
Alright, 2 good starts. We will turn onto the generators on. Packs to auto. Bleed valve off. Oh, good time. Oh, hey T-Town. Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that. And APU off. Okay, for the taxi checklist, we want some pitot heat. Probably want some hydraulic pumps here at some point. I don't know why I must have missed that one on my list. NI should be fine. Go to flight mode. Let the pressurization start. Taxi lights are on. Set the flaps. Flaps 5. RTO on the auto brake. Trim to 3.4. I can't see that. Let's get a little closer. 123.4. Looks pretty good. And we are ready to roll. Portland ground, Alaska 417 for taxi. We'd like 10, right, if we can get it. Hello.
Alaska 417, Portland ground, runway 10 right, taxi via Tango Bravo 4 Bravo, cross runway 21.
Tango Bravo 4 to Bravo, cross to 1210 right for Alaska 417.
American 1130, send it past Crescent, maintain flight level 240.
Tango's right over here. We'll just go pick that up.
American 2240, contact Seattle Center 121.4.
Flight director can come on.
American 2240, Seattle Center, climb maintain file 230.
There's Bravo 3. Guess we can take that. Is that Bravo 4 up there? Nope, we missed it. Alright, well, we're going to take Bravo 3. Don't tell anyone.
Con 1099, I did.
Oh, that reminds me. Get my transponder on once I once I get turned here. Quick glance down the runway. He did say we could cross it, so we should be fine. Okay. While we're doing that, let's go get our transponder 24260 and on.
Con 1099, radar contact over to Kalispell via war, climbing tape altitude 30.
So after takeoff, we will fly heading 103 to 540 feet. Then we will turn direct river and resume from there. Initial climb right now is 6,000. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. It's pretty routine departure, other than the fact that I feel rusty as can be in this plane. Not flying for a week or so. We'll do that to you. Okay, parking brake is on. For takeoff, we will turn our starters to both to continuous ignition. We will turn the auto throttle arm on. We will want heading select mode. TCAS is good. We will verify IAS is good. Heading is good. Altitude is good. Flaps are good. Nope, flaps are not good. Flaps are at 2. We don't want flaps 2, we want flaps 5. That's why we check. Somebody paste the Cat Strader checklist.
American 22
Emoticon, please.
Seattle Center 135.15.
Auto brake's good. Trim is good. TCAS is good. We just need to get our radios set here.
American 1130 contact Seattle
Towers
Center,
on 23,775. And departure will be on 118.42.
American 22 for Seattle Center, climb maintain file 330.
Port Tower, Alaska 417 with the weather short at 10 right, ready to go.
American 1130, Seattle Center, descend via Hood 3, arrival, Portland, altimeter 2033, proceed via runway 10 right, transition.
See if we got stepped on or not.
Alaska 417, Portland Tower, runway 10 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 10 right to Alaska 417. Taxi lights off. Landing lights on. Strobe on. Record our off time. Let's go. Toga. Good rate there. Gear up. And heading 103. Give it to LNAV. Let it do level change. Waiting for our departure handoff here. We're now direct river. My throttle's up here. Alright, let's start bringing flaps in. And we'll go VNAV. Oh. Oh, can't do VNAV yet. Interesting. In any case, we can do 250 knot climb, surely. Still no departure handoff. We can run our after takeoff. Flaps are in. Engine starts can go to off. Landing gear is up. And can go to off. Brakes off. All good. And Tower, Alaska 417, you want us on departure?
Alaska 417 affirmative, contact departure.
Or departure, Alaska 417. Port and departure, good evening, Alaska 417 through 4,600 for 6,000.
Alaska 417, Portland departure, radar contact, climb maintain 15,000.
Up to 15 for Alaska 417. Keep our SID handy here. So we're on this leg right now to Kosug, then to Hades, then to Kism. Already threw that overcast already. There is no speed restriction on this direction of departure, so once we cross through 10,000, I'll give it 280 knots. I love these X-Enviro clouds. I do love them. There's the turn to Hades. We're coming through almost to 10,000. So far, so good.
.com 1099 contact.
And up to 280.
City Center 128.72.
You can see Mount Hood sticking up through the clouds over there. That's pretty cool.
Alaska 417, contact Seattle Center 121.4.
21.4 for Alaska 417. He will be able to get us up to our cruise altitude.
.com 1099, Salt Lake City Center, climb maintain file level 270.
Seattle Center, good evening, Alaska 417 through 11,300 for 15,000.
Alaska 417, Seattle Center, climb maintain level 230.
230. So still not quite up all the way where we want to be, but getting there. It did not give us a target speed here for the climb, and I'm interested in why that is. Maybe do I have to hit econ and exec that? No. Usually I get that just fine, so I'm not sure what I did wrong there. Sure I did something wrong. Performance is good. Our speed restrictions because of noise. Yes, partially. It's also something of a safety issue. Having it 250 knots below 10,000 ensures that aircraft that are in the terminal environment, where things can happen very quickly and aircraft are likely to be descending and climbing through each other, ensures that everyone's kind of running at a reasonable speed and not causing themselves a lot of unnecessary heartache. So it's much easier for controllers to sequence aircraft when even the airliners are only going 150 knots faster than a Cessna or something like that. So I have no target speeds though. I don't know why that is. Let's see if we can figure that out. I had climb speeds. Set the performance. I guess I didn't set reserve fuel. I can do that. I don't know that that'll make a huge difference. We can go look. Maybe it will. Yep, that was it. Okay. Just have to remember to put in the reserve fuel. Good to know. So now we put in a VNAV, which lets the FMC manage both the climb rate and the speed of the aircraft for my selected cost index. And once we get up to altitude and have a little time on our hands, I'll probably put in the en route winds as well, so we can plan our descent. At the moment, do we have an estimate for top of climb? 2111. So about 18 minutes. My new little status bar up here that I've designed. Pretty pleased with that so far. This is my first flight using it, so we'll see how it works and get the bugs out of it. Some parts of it are automatic, some parts of it rely on me doing things. But as a programmer myself, I can't help but make little doodads like that for the stream. So. You may have also noticed the timers set our out time and our off time, and those are going to be useful for a stream I'm planning to do in a few weeks. That will be a challenge. It's called the Day in the Life Challenge that Peter, the guy who's actually our controller right now, came up with. And the challenge is basically to simulate a full day in the life of a real airline pilot. So we will have 5 flights all around the PilotEdge area, starting from Elko, Nevada. 3515 for Alaska 417. More on that in a minute. First we fly the plane, then we navigate, then we talk about other things. Seattle Center, good evening, Alaska 417 through 22,000 for 23,000.
Alaska 417, Seattle Center, climbing T-Fall 350.
350 for Alaska 417.
American 1130, Portland approach, expect the Vissel approach, runway 10 right to Portland altimeter 3033.
Alright, VNAV. So, for this challenge, where you fly 5 flights in a full day, you have to spend 30 minutes on the ground between each flight to simulate the deboarding and reboarding time. You have to keep to a schedule, you can't depart early, and you have to get all 5 legs completed within a 9-hour flight day. So that's your out time to your in time, basically the time from when you push back to when you arrive at the gate. That total for all 5 of those flights has to be under 9 hours, and it's really close. Like the scheduled times for those flights are exactly 9 hours. And the reason for the 9 hours number is because it simulates the real-world FAA service kind of duty maximum for a pilot. A pilot can't have more than 9 hours of flight time in, I think, a 24-hour period. I could be wrong about that part. But so basically, to be able to see if I'm meeting the challenge, this is going to take like 12 hours. So it's going to be a full day. I'm going to start at probably 9 o'clock in the morning my time and go all day. So it's going to be a super fun stream, and I'm trying to get the graphics kind of sorted out for that. I'm getting my timer sorted out. But to be able to track my progress, I need to be able to track my flight times with a pausable kind of timer that's not hours running, and so that's why I made my little timers here that I'm testing out tonight. So the top bar is a little bit of secret sauce. It uses a browser source and a bunch of custom animations that I wrote, and kind of took some off-the-shelf departure board kind of flapper effects and customized them, and then wired it up to talk to the PilotEdge data API, and then also some Twitch commands that will put data up there for me. So that's pretty cool. It's something to play with when we're sitting at cruise and have nothing else to do. So it looks like just about 11 minutes on the top of climb, so I'll update our prediction here. But I knew I wanted to do something on the top of my screen because I have that little X-plane bar up there. It was just kind of a boring gray before, so this gives you a nice little thing to play with. And then when someone follows, the right side of it goes all crazy and flaps their name, which is kind of cool. So it's the little things that amuse me and keep me occupied. So all right, so I said I was going to put in the wind predictions, and I want to try that to see how that works. I've never done that before. So that will be in the descent page, I believe. Nope, forecast. There we go. Okay, transition level of 18,000, which, by the way, we need to reset our altimeter. Come on. There we go. All right, I want to play with this because I haven't done this before and because we have not a whole lot else to do at the moment. So in our brief, we have wind forecasts. I'll make them a little bigger at a couple points along our route. So we can put these in to the FMC, I believe, and it should be able to help forecast the descent more accurately. What I don't know is whether it's at a... I thought it was at a point that I had to do that. Descent. Yeah. So it's under the descent page. It's not under speed.
11:30 contact Portland approach 1.
No. Maybe I can just do them at specific altitudes. All right, well, in that case, I'll do them for the top of descent. So at 350. Well, let's make sure it knows we mean, whoops, 35,000. Yeah, there we go. 308 at 30.
American 11:30 Portland approach.
We'll do, let's put in the 200 one here. $316. I have no idea if this FMC even takes advantage of this information.
4,000. I should be able to get you the load average if you'd like. I can give you the ILS instead.
But I'm interested to see if it makes any difference on the VNAV planning on this plane, which has so far been a little suspect.
Flight present heading descend and maintain 4,000 vectors to the airport.
Didn't take that long, so if it makes a difference, it wasn't that hard. All right, zoomed out on our map so you can see top of climb indicated here, as well as the turn at Pauli. Turn our lights off since we're way up in the sky now. Scope the ortho. Oh yeah. For that 12-hour stream, which I'm planning to do, it's looking like it'll most likely be on Saturday, February 11th. So, a couple weeks still. Is that right? Yeah, I think the 11th is the right day. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a full day of flying. The intention is that you do the whole thing within one day, and you have no breaks. You have 30-minute breaks, essentially, with which you not only have to park the plane and do your pre-flight for the next plane, but that's also your food breaks, bathroom breaks, unless you step away at cruise, all of that. So it's gonna be quite a challenge. I do have a new mic that I've ordered that should be here tomorrow, so I want to try and get the audio set. I don't want to have to wear a headset if I'm going to be streaming for 12 straight hours. My ears will get tired, my head will get tired, so that'll fix that. And I also am going to do some giveaways. I've reached out already and gotten a couple great giveaways that we'll be able to do, and I'm hoping to get a couple more. So it should be fun. If you're hearing my voice and you're not already following me on Twitch, now would be a good time to get that, so you can come hang out with me. Like I said, I'm hoping it'll be the February 11th. I'll probably do a blast out once I confirm that date, and we'll probably start around, I'm guessing it'll be around 9 or 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, and it will go all day into the evening. Hopefully get it done before the network closes at 11. If we're still flying, if we start at 9:30 and we're still flying at 11, then something has gone horribly wrong. But I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be super fun. So. Alright, coming up on top of climb here. This is a pretty short flight. Looks like we got about 54 minutes forecasting right now to get back on the ground, so won't have too long to go on cruise. So longest leg on the of the challenge flights is going to be San Diego to Seattle, which is about a 2.5 to 3 hour flight, depending on how you plan it. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have to shake a leg on that. All right, we have a super slow cruise speed planned here. This plane can do way faster than that, so let's go ahead and up the ante here.
American 1130, the airport
Come on.
at your
There we
11
go.
o'clock 7 miles reporting site.
Let's roll, man. There we go. That's just a little over an hour.
American 1130, cleared missile approachment 108.
Alright, descent planning. Just to get the TOD. Looks like 2136 Zulu, so about 22 minutes. If you're out there watching and you haven't said hello yet, please do. Say hi. Let me know you're watching from. We got a good half hour to kill up here, so you might as well make yourselves known and let me know where you're watching from, where in the world you might be. I'm up here in Portland, Oregon, where we just virtually departed from. As I've said many times, the point of streaming is to say hello to people, get a chat, get a chance to chat, get a chance to ask questions, answer questions. So yeah, say hi. I wish the outside view wasn't so freaking loud. Let's turn the engines down just a scotch. Oh, can't do that. There we go. That's better.
American 1130, contact Portland Tower.
Freaking guys in Seattle, awesome. Good to see you. As always. I think this might be the first time I've seen you on my stream, so thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Phoenix to Reno as Southwest 159. Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you there.
American 1130, that's for the other side. Contact Tower 123.77.
No worries, Whiskey Man. We'll see you soon. Thanks for stopping in. And thanks for the host, as always. I appreciate that.
American 1130, Portland Tower, runway 10 right, clear to land. American 2240, descend at Palace Crescent, maintain flight level 240.
PD to 240, 2240.
I think just about everyone who's checked in on chat is on this already, but just in case, I'll also plug my my Discord. I just set up a couple days ago, and it's already got a little crowd forming there of people who hang out and talk airplanes all day. So everyone's welcome. Come on by. I've avoided the bot that spams the chat with links all the time because that kind of annoys me. So I do it myself. Manual mode, no autopilot for the bot spam. One thing I don't like is the engine noises inside now are almost too quiet, but outside they're so freaking deafening. It really seems like it's hard in this sim to find the right balance and work that out.
Southwest 159, Phoenix, clearance on OPS, standby.
Good news is we're getting a nice 46 knot tailwind right now. Hopefully that keeps up. We're about to turn a little bit here. It'll be more of a wind on the wind, more of a crosswind. Not too bad. So that's giving us a pretty good speed across the ground. Arrival-wise, after Hart, planning-wise, we just need to hit ELSA at or above 13 and a LibG at or above 12, which shouldn't be a challenge. Reno does not have a single ILS for 16 right. It has 3 of them. Not entirely sure why that is. Has an ILS X-ray, an ILS Yankee, and an ILS Zulu. This is the one I was planning. As you can see, the IAF is the end of our star, so that makes it real easy from a planning perspective. So yeah, 16 right is the long runway, and then the terminal is right here on the ground, so that's the logical runway to arrive at. The terrain is pretty interesting. I've only flown into this airport virtually once before, and it was many, many, many years ago. It was a very windy day, and it was a very adventurous descent, which I hear is often the case into Reno. Right now it's not too bad. Winds are 350 at 10, so actually we more than likely might get a ILS 3534 right.
Portland clearance, headed to Seattle to come International Airport, fly runway heading, radar vectors, battleground, VOR, then is filed. Maintain 3000.
Or 34 left, I mean, not 34 right.
Departure frequency 124.3.
So we'll see. Might get vectored around for that. Might not.
Right, 55 Charlie Papa, read back correct.
It's like about 24 minutes to our top of descent. Is that check out with what we had? No? Interesting. I sped us up a little bit. Surprised we're that far off. I'll just update my little estimator here. I'm not sure if we're over Nevada yet. I don't think so. I think this is still southeastern Oregon. We could look on SkyVector and see where we are. Yeah. Polly's right here, and Klamath Falls on Lakeview, or VOR, so we're still in Oregon. But we will be getting a frequency change for Oakland Center coming up here pretty soon. Looks like right before Hart.
American 2240's departed 330.
There's a
2240, right?
frequency change. While we're up here, I need to figure out where to go next after Reno. I'd like to try and chain 2 flights together because I've actually never done that in this plane. I've never landed it, taken it to the gate, loaded a new flight without resetting the airplane. And for that 12-hour challenge, I need to be able to do that 4 times. So if you have a nomination for a favorite destination or someplace we can go out of Reno that's not too long, hour and a half, something like that, shout it out. And we can
American 1130, Bravo 5, Tango.
plan to do that. San Francisco would work. I think Las Vegas is probably fine.
Air 457.
Salt Lake might be fun. Never flown into Salt Lake. I've only departed from there. So that could be fun. But did I miss a call? Is that for me?
Air 457, contact
Nope.
Seattle Center 135.15.
Not for me. But that guy is coming to my frequency. That's funny. Freaking guy says SBA. Oh, that's a good idea. Santa Barbara. I don't know. That might be a little long for the time that I have. Let's have a look.
Right, 55 outside of Papa, Portland Runway 10 left taxi via Kilo Cross.
304 nautical miles. Oh, that actually might work. Reno to SBA is 304. Reno to John Wayne, where I just actually was over the weekend, is 360. That is probably a little bit long.
Seattle Center,
and
457 heavy flight level 380.
I actually have some scenery for SNA that I have not yet installed. So I want to get that set up and get that going. It's the GBP 500 scenery, for those of you that are familiar with that. I still got to get that downloaded and tested and make it work before I go there. But that actually might be a good flight to do maybe on Sunday. I'm hoping to do another stream on Sunday. We can do Santa Barbara to John Wayne or something like that. That might be fun. So. Descent-wise, we should be, about 20 minutes still. No, that's interesting. Wonder why we're losing time. I guess we're not. Yeah, ETA is still pretty reasonable. Okay. I wanted to check that. Yeah, I think Reno to Santa Barbara might actually work out pretty well. I know there is a pretty good Santa Barbara scenery. I don't remember if I have it. Let's go see. Nope, I do not have it. That's all right. For our purposes, that'll work okay. I do wish I had that set up. I never plan ahead enough to be able to actually make sure I have the scenery for where I want to go loaded, and I haven't been flying enough on this machine to get it all preloaded. So Oh well. Let's start looking up what the routings might look like. Yeah, here's a real world Challenger that made that flight. Zephyr 6 Derby, FRA, Reberg Derb to San Marcos. So, how long did it take them? Oh, yeah, not long at all. About 40 minutes. That should be doable. That way you can follow along on my my exciting, thorough briefing process as we prep that one after we get on the ground. It's very thorough, very extensive. Oh, I wonder if here's where you're supposed to put in the wind information. I'll have to look that up and see what the deal is with that. Anyway, we should get our descent here fairly soon. Sort of surprised we don't already have a top of descent marker here. I'm so suspicious of the VNav on this thing. Like, it works, but it doesn't seem like it's aggressive enough. I've often found that it will leave me too high and too fast.
Descend at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 240.
Okay, descend at pilot's discretion to 240 for Alaska 417. So there you go. So we technically could wait another 14 minutes or 17 minutes according to this. What the plane thinks, I'm a little skeptical of that personally, so we will probably start down in more like 10 minutes or so, or maybe even sooner. I don't know. I always want to get down as quick as possible, which is not super realistic for how real airplanes are flown. Obviously, they stay up as high as they can for as long as they can, so they can kind of coast in on idle throttles for as long as possible, which makes sense. It saves, I'm sure, quite a bit of gas. But I'm always tempted to descend as quick as I can and get the airplane slow. And after my horrible landing at Eagle County a couple weeks ago, where I ran off the end of the runway because I was just 50 knots too fast, I learned to respect this plane's lack of ability to descend and slow down at the same time. So that is my sermon on that. But let's do this. Let's look for this to say about 75 nautical miles on the. We'll descend 75 nautical miles before it thinks we should, and we'll see how that does for us. The other thing that I don't see that I feel like I should have here is the descend now button. Oh, for leg 2, I think we are going to take your. We're going to take your suggestion and go to Santa Barbara. I don't have. I think I just have default scenery for that airport. I know there is a nice add-on scenery that's on the org. I've seen it in the past. I don't have it installed right now, but that should be just about perfect as far as leg length. It's a nice, fairly interesting route, and I've never departed out of Reno before. I've only arrived there, and the last time I did was years ago. So yeah, we'll get to see some new airspace. Fly. Basically, I think the route is going to take us almost directly south from Reno. They're pretty lined up west to east. So get to see both expansion airspace and the LA airspace in one flight, which is pretty cool. All right, got another 40 nautical miles to go here. This thinks that we're going to land at 2152, so in about 30 minutes. I'm going to plug that into my little estimator just to see how we do. I have my suspicions that won't quite work out that way, but I want to see how far it off the FMC is. Especially if we get vectored around to land heading north, which I suspect we will. That's going to be way off. It's going to take that's going to add at least 10 minutes to the flight. But I'm just curious. I'm just curious how that'll work. I feel like there should be a descend now button here that you can push on the descent page. There definitely isn't. There's a forecast, which I plugged in as best as I could. There is a path button, which you use to change your path of descent.
Great 55 side public contact departure.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something there, but I don't know if I'm missing it or if the plane's missing it or what the deal is. But we are under 100 nautical miles, or just about. Yep, there we go. Under 100 to the plane's preferred type of descent. As I said, I'm going to pull it down about 75, so we're about 25 miles until I will start it down.
Portland departure radar contact. Climb maintain 8,000.
I'm
Battleground VOR.
super interested to see what happens when I do that. Oh, maybe it's on the cruise page. No?
American 2240, contact NorCal approach 119.2.
Yeah, I feel like there should be a descend now button on this plane that lets you descend early.
American 2240, NorCal approach, expect to visit approach to make 34 left, descend and maintain 11,000.
But I sure don't see it. Well, it is a mystery. Also slightly worried by this empty fuel number next to Reno. We have gas. Some gas. Sybil says, I assume you just level change. No, I haven't yet, but I will. I'm going to use level change mode. How long before a call sign times out on P after I lose my internet? That's a good question. It depends on when when it actually drops. It's usually pretty quick. Like if your internet's out for more than about 20 seconds or so, you will probably lose your connection to PilotEdge. It could be even less than that. Now your flight plan will stay open, I think, for an hour-ish. PUR is definitely at least an hour, and I believe the flight plan is also at least an hour. So if you reconnect to PE within pretty quickly, then you'll get your flight plan back. I believe the controller may not even notice that you vanished. I think controller-wise, all their stuff is preserved as well, if you're just gone for a couple seconds. But you should get the disconnected message if you're using X-Plane, if you get dropped, and it should come back on. When you should probably will have to manually reconnect. There's no auto reconnect or anything like that. All right. It says call sign in use been about 5 minutes. That's interesting.
American 2240 to Reno Airport's 1 o'clock, 12 miles report in sight.
You could.
American 2240, you're to descend and maintain 900,000.
You could restart. That might fix it. I know restarting is kind of a pain, and restarting your sim is kind of a pain and all that. And if you're flying, that's no good, but that might do the trick. All right, let's go ahead and start on down to 24. Flyer descent at 0.74. Aviation GIF of the day. Oh man, that's majestic. It's just a weather station. Just doing his job.
American 2249 and Mustang heading 170.
And Alaska 417, we're vacating 350.
Alaska
Korea
417 reds a contact, Oakland Center 132.2.
32 for Alaska 417.
Or left. .com 1099 descend at pass, discuss and maintain flight level 240.
Local Center, good evening. Alaska 417 is descending through 31,000 for 24.
Let's go 417, Oakland Center descend at pass, discuss and maintain 17,000, Reno altimeter 3024.
3024 and down to 17 for Alaska 417. Alright, cabin signs are still on. Looks like the cabin is descending as desired. That all looks good. Anti-ice should be okay there. Got our descent is programmed more or less. We did descend quite a bit earlier than it expected us to. I do want to see, yeah, the approach page. Oops. There we go. Flaps 30, we'll plan a 133 VREF. Go ahead and throw a bug on that so I don't forget it. 133. We'll switch my altimeter a little early here. 3025. It sounds like they're giving visuals, which actually should be kind of fun. I haven't flown a visual in this aircraft before. I've only flown ILSs and other instrument approaches, so. All right. Let this descend at 280. Come on. MCP speed, but this is showing arm, which makes me nervous. I don't like being nervous. Huh. The fact that I can't push this button, I suppose, is... No, it's not due to that. Okay, well. I'm sure everything's fine. We'll figure it out. So this is my skepticism about the top of descent.
2240 contact Reno.
It would have had us coming out of 350 right here at Yilza. That's the spot we're supposed to be crossing at or above 13,000. Like, at or above, yeah.
240 Reno Tower, wind 0, wind
Technically
0,
we
right
could,
left,
but I'm
left,
pretty sure
left.
you're not generally supposed to be 22,000
.com 1099 contact
feet.
contact Salt Lake City Center
22,000 feet above that
132.25.
crossing restriction. So the VNAV in this thing just does not give me the confidence that I wish it did. Yeah, it could be altitude capture. Oh yeah, you're probably right. That's probably exactly what it is. But I'm surprised that it's not shown below
.com 1099 Salt Lake City Center descend to maintain
in white,
16,000,
and it should
Salt
show
Lake
the
City
current mode
altimeter
in green. Because I
30.
think, yeah, I have control over the throttle right now. The auto throttle is essentially turned off. So the question is, when we level off at 17, what's going to happen? I'm curious about that. So we will gonna do, yeah, we'll find out in 4,000 feet exactly. Exactly. We'll set our brakes while we're thinking about it. I'm gonna track the ILS 34 right once I pull it up here.
And the last aircraft plan, go ahead.
Let's go. Throw that in here. ILS 34 left is on 1099. And approach course of 344.
Southwest
Just for
159. I'm not
grins.
showing that plane online at all. Stand by 1 sec.
We'll put it on the first officer's guide as well. So.
Yeah, I see a 157 and a 150, but I don't see a 159.
So we're about to level off here. Oh, the other thing I could do is put the Tower Freaks. Let's see, in our backup here, which is 118.7. Just so we're ready to switch to that. Alright, coming up on 17,000.
We're 612 Sierra Romeo, San Francisco, through the Reno.
Autopilot is off.
45 runway heading, radar vectors.
Or auto throttle, I mean. Is armed, but not currently functioning. I have control over the throttle.
135.1, squawk 3017.
Oh, there it goes. MCP speed, so it did re-engage it. Yeah, interesting. I don't know why it turned off while we were idling. This machine has many mysteries. Below 18, so
Sierra may read back correct.
turn our lights on. Yeah, Sybil called it. You nailed it, man.
American 2240, Juliet Alpha to the ramp, good day.
Alright, so we're now holding at 17 until given further descent. Probably will be given a vector here pretty soon. It sounds like they're doing visuals at Reno, visual approaches. So we'll be sent around. Hopefully we can get below this layer. We should be alright. I mean, Reno's reporting broken at 5,500, overcast at 11,000. So the airport itself is at 4,000, 4,400. So I feel like we'll be okay. You'll also notice, since we descended early, the N1 mode has not updated. It thinks we're still at cruise instead of descent power. Although I suppose since we leveled off, maybe that's why, but I doubt it. Zoom in our map here again.
And Southwest 159, squawk 250.
I should get handed to NorCal here pretty soon.
West 159, squawk 2501.
In the meantime, we'll just keep cruising along.
.com 1099 contacts Salt Lake City approach 135.5.
The other thing I want to work on this approach, and it's actually going to be a little trickier on a visual, is getting a flap schedule.
Come 1099 Salt Lake City approach, you can expect
I feel like I'm using the flaps as impromptu speed breaks too often on this plane, which is not really how they're supposed to be used, although they are effective for that. We do have our little... wait, that's not it. Maybe it's over here. Nope, never mind. I thought there was a flap speed here, but I guess not. Reset MCP out. No, we're level at 17. That's as designed. So, I don't know why that FMC warning popped up. Maybe because it was coming up on the top of descent. Well, got news for you, buddy. We're 18,000 feet lower than your descent path. So, I sort of wish we had let it just do what it wanted to do, just to see what would have happened. I have a strong suspicion it would not have gone well. Strong suspicion that we would have been 10,000 feet too high on the approach and just dive bombing it through the deck. But I could be wrong. All right, so
4612 Sierra Romeo San Francisco runway
we
28
are now
left,
direct.
cross runway 1 left and runway 1 right.
Is that right? Yeah, from Eels to Libgy, so we're right on this level here. We do need to slow down to 230 as a crossing restriction. So let's go ahead and do that right now. DME's alive on the that ILS, the 3-4 left ILS that I have programmed in there. After Libgy, we are supposed to fly heading 160 to expect ILS or radar vectors.
.com 1099, turn
So
right
let's go
heading,
ahead and do that
110.
right now.
Oscar 417, contact NorCal approach 119.2.
119.2 for 417, see ya. NorCal approach, good evening, Alaska 417 at 17,000.
Oscar 417, NorCal approach, expect the ILS runway 34 left approach, descend and maintain 12,000.
Down to 12, and we'll expect 3-4 left ILS for Alaska 417. So there you go. No visual today. That is okay, though. I will live. So we're done with the arrival. Pull that chart right over here so you can all see it. So we're now north of the field quite a bit. We're gonna get sent around to the south. We will try not to hit this 10,776 foot mountain, which will be that one probably right there, I think. One of those peaks right there. I'll try hard not to hit that. And other than that, it looks like a fairly routine ILS. Minimums will be 536. Approach course I already got in there, 344. Yeah, rest of that looks all straightforward. So one sort of weird thing is we are on the last heading of the arrival. Had us on heading 160, so as we descend down to 12,000. I would hope we'll get a vector here pretty soon. If not, I guess we'll just keep flying this until we're south of the field and he can vector us around, but it does seem kind of weird. See if we can see the field from all the way up here. Not so much. Also keeping an eye on my little estimated time here. I put that in based on the FMC before we even started our descent. 13 minutes, we'll see. We'll see how we hit that. I'm skeptical. Auto throttle disengaged itself again since we're at idle. That's interesting. Oh yeah, we can park outside for a little bit. No sweat. Nothing else going on right now. There's the airport. Yeah. So we're just going to fly to the left of it here, which is good. Means we're not going to hit any of this stuff. And then we should just kind of come around here and ideally capture. That's what's supposed to happen anyway.
355 Charlie Papa, contact Seattle Center 126.6.
Check the progress page on my FMC. What about it?
Alaska 417, descend and maintain 9,000. Fly
Okay.
heading 170, vectors to final.
9,000 and 170 for vectors to final for Alaska 417. Should show me an ETA. Yeah, that's what I plugged in. 14 minutes now. Mostly I was curious how good the programming was on that. How it handled kind of the descent and whether it kind of evaluated all the way through, or if it was more of a brain dead, oh, you're this far from the airport, you're fly there at this speed, we'll land at this time.
355 Charlie Papa, Seattle Center,
So,
Seattle altimeter 3031.
just curious. The FMC ETA from like before top of descent is what I put in up here, so you can see we've still got 11 minutes to go before we hit that. But since I am sort of new to this airplane still, I don't know how much I trust it.
For 6120 Romeo San Francisco Tower, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Just about to level up here at 9,000. This is that
Alaska 417, fly heading 160.
160 for 417. Coming through that broken layer right now. Tell you what, Xenviro always nails these METARs really nicely. Whenever I look up a real-world METAR and I fly it, I get what it says I will get. With very few exceptions, I haven't seen it do any bouncing of layers. It doesn't do any weird interpolations. It just works. That's pretty cool. Alaska 417, we're still at 230 knots because of the crossing restriction on the Heart. Out of curiosity, can we slow to approach speed at our discretion?
Alaska 417, affirmative.
All right, thanks. I didn't know. I figured I'd just ask him. He knows. Peter's a CFII. And I believe he has his ATP as well. So, if you want to know things about airplanes, that's the guy to ask. This should be fun. We go right over that little peak there, this little ridge. Let's see what our radar altimeter gets down to.
.com 1099, turn right heading 190.
2,000, 1,700. I guess we didn't go right over the top of this. 1,600. Oh no, 1,500. Boy, glad we had our altimeter set correctly. I'll tell you that much.
Fly heading 200, maintain
Just 1,500 AGL.
on the localizer, cleared ILS runway 17 approach.
For a horrible minute, I thought that was for us, and I missed the approach clearance. All right, we're now below the glide slope, so we should be able to turn in pretty much any time. We're still pretty fast. I'm going to take us down to 190. And pop. Flaps 1. Let's arm our... I was expecting the visual based on what he gave another airplane, but he actually told us to expect the ILS. So we are flying. We're probably gonna be cleared for the actual ILS here. I don't know why that other aircraft got a visual. I still actually have not flown a visual in this plane, so maybe on our next leg into Santa Barbara we can do that. That would be nice to have something different there. Obviously a little more challenging on the actual piloting skills, which I make no claims to have. I just have a computer and a Twitch channel. Those I will admit to.
Alaska 417,
there we go.
Right heading to 310.
Right to 310 for Alaska 417.
For 612 Sierra, Romeo, contact departure.
Alright, now we can go to ILS mode on our navigational display.
Contact flight, maintain 13,000, clear direct Oakland VOR, resume on navigation.
Ready for continuous ignition. Anti-ice, we're still good. It's not cold enough. Well, actually it is kind of cold enough. We'll keep an eye on it. How about that? Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and take it down to 170. Just because we're now on that. Probably a clearance to enter. Probably should be cleared for the approach here pretty soon. So I'm going to go ahead and slow down and give ourselves maximum amount of time here.
Runway 26, taxi
Take flaps 5.
.com 1099.
Still stuck in this cloud layer here.
Alaska 417, 3 miles from Waggy, maintain 9,000 until established on the localizer, cleared ILS runway 34 left approach.
Okay, we'll maintain 9,000 until established and cleared for ILS 34 left for Alaska 417. Alright, switched it on to localizer. I suppose we can probably just go straight to approach. Get them both at once. Localizer's alive. There goes the plane. Go flaps 15 and slow to 150. I believe that's the gear horn, because the throttles were at idle with flaps 15 or more. Yeah. Look, glide slip's alive, so let's go ahead and put the wheels out. No problem. Alright, 15 miles to go. Freaking guy says he would have failed the day in real life. All kinds of problems. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm scared of that. It's as much of a sim reliability contest as it is an actual, like, piloting skill. That's kind of why tonight I wanted to do 2 legs back to back without resetting the sim, just to see what happens, because, like, will my computer hold up and will the sim not crash for upwards of 12 or 14 hours? I don't know. I really don't. Alright, we're on glide slope. Let's go to flaps 30. Brake is armed.
Alaska 417, contact Reno Tower.
Over to tower for 417. Reno Tower, good evening. Alaska 417 on ILS 34 left.
Alaska 417, Reno Tower, 10108, runway 34 left, clear to land.
Copy the letter and clear to land 34 left for Alaska 417. Thanks. pretty nose down here. Just kind of diving for the glide slope. Oof. I want these clouds to clear up.
Phoenix Tower, Southwest.
Tell you that much.
159, ready to go 26.
Southwest 159, Phoenix Tower, made 26 clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 26, Southwest 159.
Alright, wheels are down, 10 miles to go. Flaps are set, brakes are set. Lights are on. Turn our strobe on. Yeah, these clouds are great. I love X-Enviro, man. I love it. It was expensive, but it was worth it. Alright, I got a runway. Approach looks nice and stable.
2,500.
Minimums, I'll pull those up real quick. We got a second here. Oops. Wrong chart. There we go. We're Cat C, so 4946 or 536 above the ground.
Salt Lake Tower, .com 1089's clear on Kilo going tack air.
.com 1099 tax mark can be a kilo, g'day.
Park can be a Kilo with you 1098.
Nice scenery here. I haven't seen this before. I installed it, but I haven't flown in there. How's our ETA doing? Oh, look at that. We're like 1 minute off of the FMC ETA from top of descent. That's actually pretty impressive. I'll have to give props. I know I was kind of trashing this plane's VNAV earlier and all that, but that's pretty cool. Might just be a coincidence. We'll do it again on the way to Santa Barbara and see the same thing. All right, looks like we have a long displace threshold here, so we gotta be ready for that. Winds aren't too bad, just 7 knots on the nose, pretty much straight on. I'm gonna fly it in here. From here by hand. Auto throttle is off. I have control. Disengage my airplane.
And Tower 1 Southwest 159 on departure.
That's South 159 affirmative contact departure.
Over departure, Southwest 159.
1,000.
Southwest 159 Phoenix radar contact, climb and tape out 210.
A little high. A little low. Okay, there's minimums.
500.
We're fine, obviously. We are a little fast.
400.
I'll slow the plane down a little bit.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ah, long.
Delta 1090 to approach center descend via Hyder 1 arrival for runway 25 left.
Reversers are out.
3023.
Brakes. Not gonna make that one. Yeah, it was long. I've had worse though. Come on. Reversers in. There we go. Well, it's a long runway, and we used all of it. I think I was a little fast, and I was definitely a little bit high. But That's all right. They say anyone you walk away from, and we'll definitely do more than walk away from this one. We probably could have made that earlier turn off if I had really stepped on the brakes, but I was not doing that, so. Okay, now we gotta figure out where to park.
417 Delta Alpha to the ramp, remain this frequency. G'day.
Delta Alpha to the ramp with you for 417, thanks. No, I did not put my missed approach course and altitude in my MCP. That's a very good point. I should have done that. I will do that next time. Alright, flaps all the way in. Speed brakes all the way in. We'll just take this one right here. I don't have taxiway signs. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Alpha. Perfect. Let's just go park right here. This looks fine. Alright. Oh, come on. Parking brake on. There we go. Alright, auto throttle is off. Flight director can come off. Flaps are up. Auto brakes off. Engine starters can go to off. Fun to call out things you never do. Exactly. I didn't want to say it, but that's fairly true. We also forgot to turn our taxi lights on for those who are playing along at home, but that's all right. Go ahead and get our ground power. And off one, off two. Off us, and we are on. Okay. Lights off. Parking brake is definitely still on. These can go to off. And that should be it. For now, we did not start the APU on our taxi, and we just taxied on engines. Still getting a lot of engine noise outside, which I find kind of
Southwest 159,
interesting.
contact Albuquerque Center 134.32. Aerosphere 457, contact Seattle Center 126.6.
There, now it's going down. All right, I'm going to take a break for 2 minutes, and go pee and get our first drink, and then I will come back and we will brief and fly Reno to Santa Barbara. So, we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so.
Air 457 Heavy, Seattle Center descend via the Hawks 5 arrival for runway 16 right. Southwest 159, Albuquerque Center, climb maintain file 340. Delta 1098, contact Phoenix approach 128.65. Southwest 1098 to Phoenix approach, effective visual approach bay 25 left.
Okay. Hi, hello. We are back. So let's do our brief here. We're going to go from Reno to Santa Barbara. Alternate will be LAX. That's fine. So yeah, like I was saying, it pops up out of Scotch. Well, that's never a good place to be. It pops up a time en route based on a cheap cost index. You can adjust this and it will jack up the cost index. So what the hell, we'll say 1 hour, 20 minutes. Departing 3-4 left looks good. Let's go look at the SBA ATIS. See what they're arriving. 1-5 left, 1-5 right, and 2-5. Go look at that. So we'll want 2-5 since we're, 6,000 feet. Yep. Well, we're not going to be able to land long in this one. Boy, howdy. Yes. So that's an easy route. Jeez. Derby to Gaviota. Don't know that we'll be able to get away with that. What's this one look like? Yeah. Pretty much the same, actually. And then there's a departure. Yeah, looks like that adds a kind of a turnaround and come back at it again. Well, let's go look at that departure and see how it looks. Hungry. Oop, come back. Take off 3-4 left. Climb to 10,000. Hungry. Intercept. Mustang. Ready. So yeah, this takes us north and kind of back again.
We're 612 Sierra, Mia, contact north.
Rather not do that if we can avoid it. Let's see what the departure minimums look like. For 3-4 left. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Interesting. Well, this plane can't fly holds,
Remember,
so that's my only
Sierra, Romeo, North Approach, San
that's
Francisco,
my only
altimeter
consternation
3036.
with that idea. I'd have to kind of program the holding pattern myself, which I'm not super wild about doing. But this thing also climbs fairly quickly, so. All right, let's have a look here. If we're going to Santa Barbara, and we go Hungry, Mustang, then we're going to Juliet 7 to Reberg. What is the MEA on this? I guess I'm not going to see it on this chart, am I? Yeah. I don't know what the MEA is when it doesn't say. Maybe one of you knows and could tell me. But I think we should file this and try it. And if we screw it up, then Peter's nice. He'll tell us what we did wrong. And we will learn, and we'll do better next time. So to continue our route after Reberg, Q9 to Derby. Okay, easy enough. And then to Santa Barbara. Okay, easy enough. Let's get the weather. Oh, couldn't be simpler. Clear skies. Light wind. Yeah. Yeah, on the IFR high chart. Exactly. Exactly. So my question is basically, this departure says to climb in the Mustang holding pattern to depart at or above the MEA or MCA for route of flight. And if I'm on Juliet 7 off of Mustang, what is that altitude? I have no idea. So, like I said, we will file this and we will experiment and see. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and get the brief going here. And we may file this and get a different routing as well. So it could all get it could all
Air 457,
more
contact
interesting.
Seattle approach 125.6.
Level 350 again. Yeah. We'll cruise at 0.7574. Okay. No step climbs. We do need to get some gas. We need to refuel the 56. 5.6.
Air 457, Seattle approach. Rudder, expect the
Let's
ILS.
do that.
Right approach.
Gas. Yeah, I know. There's so few places you need when there's already up so high.
355, Charlie Papa,
Exactly.
Contact Seattle approach
Totally true. All right, let's
125.6.
go ahead and file this and get a clearance and see
Southwest
whether we get laughed out of the
159,
building.
Contact Los Angeles Center 133.55.
Oh, I suppose I use the... Yeah, we'll just use the website. It's a nicer form. I should know. I'm the one who wrote this form. What fun.
355, Charlie Papa, Seattle approach. Expect the ILS runway 16 right approach.
G J7. The other thing we can do too is ask for a shortcut once we're
Southwest 155, contact
Once
Los
we're up
Angeles
there.
133.55.
okay.
Southwest 159, affirmative, contact Los Angeles Center 133.55.
Let me get my charts organized here.
Delta 1098, contact Phoenix approach 120.4.
We'll need an airport diagram. And that Hungary 3 departure.
Southwest
Yeah,
1098,
I don't have a
Phoenix
ForeFlight
Airport, 11 o'clock, 8 miles.
subscription at the moment. At the moment, unfortunately, I had one and I used to use it,
Delta 1098,
but I
Phoenix
decided
Airport.
it was easier to show the
South
charts
Lake
just
Tahoe
using my second monitor here, so that's why I don't have it anymore. It shows 18,000 in parentheses. All right, so maybe we'll just have to climb to 18,000. I don't really know, to be honest. We also need to go clear our route. Looks like it already did. Okay. We don't know the route precise route we're going to have, but we do know where we want to go. So I'll put that in. All right, let's call up and get clearance here. Reno delivery. Good evening. It's Alaska 417 with IFR to Santa Barbara.
Alaska 417, Reno clearance. Clearance on request, standby.
Okay. Let's see what we got. See how the rest of this looks. Flight time just under an hour. Bunch of NOTAMs that I'm not going to bother to read because they're boring.
Alaska 417, clear to the Santa Barbara Airport, Hungary 3 departure, Mustang VOR, then it's filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 119.2, squawk 4260.
Okay, cleared as filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 119.2 and keep in 4620 in the box for Alaska 417.
Alaska 417, redirect.
Sweet. Okay. So climb via SID, which I guess means our top altitude will be 10,000 for now on that localizer. We'll do runway heading since there's no specific climb heading. And now we can go program the FMC. Departing from Reno, Hungary, off of 34 left to Mustang. From, let me get my route up here so you can see what I'm doing. Mustang, we will go via Juliet 7 to Reberg. Interesting. Sort of curious why that changed. Gonna put Mustang in here. Nope. Is that right? Empty to Mustang. Sorta. We might be hand flying some of this departure. Alright, anyway.
Delta 1098, contact Phoenix Tower 120.9er.
We are taking Juliet 7 to Reberg, not direct. Oh no! This is what I'm so terrified of happening on the day of the life. A Sassel crash, which means you reload the aircraft.
Phoenix Tower 122.04, runway 25 left, clear to land.
Left Delta 1098.
Aeroserve 457, contact Seattle approach 133.65.
Better that it happens on the ground. I know, but that annoys the hell out of me. And of course we got moved somewhere weird. We got moved to the GA ramp. I don't know why reloading the aircraft would do that, but alright, we're now at a different gate than we were at before, for reasons. Yep, rip, exactly. Ground power back on, oh yeah, we got the battery. Ground power, go get the IRSs again. Turn them too far accidentally and have to turn it off. There we go. Back to the old FMC. Grab our whoop. Now that's interesting. Why don't I have a GPS position? Alright, let's go through our checklist. Maybe I did something wrong. Cali power on. Ground power is already on. IRSs are on. Yaw dampers on. Fuel pumps are off. Crossfeeds are off. Temps to normal. Recirc to auto. Pack, left pack on, others off. ISFI is already on auto, pre-circ panda auto. Bleeds are fine. Flight altitude of 35,000. These look fine. What I want to know is, where's my freaking GPS position? There's supposed to be a position right there that I can take and plug into this stupid thing to give it a position. I mean, I guess you can do it this way. There, we're at Reno. Close enough. Alright. I'm so scared of a Sassel crash when I'm flying this plane. I cannot even tell you. There you go, 3-4 left. From Mustang. Let's try this again. J7 to Reberg. I don't know quite why it does that. We're just going to leave it. We're just going to move on. Don't make the airplane angry. To Derb. All right. To the perf. Zero fuel weight was 45.3. We learned last time you have to put the reserves in properly or it gets real mad. Cost index of 60. Cruise altitude of 35,000. Exact that. Now we should be able to go to takeoff. Yep, got our speeds. 5 degrees, 3.4. Oh, John's Fly says he has a little something for me. Ho ho ho. He does. I do have a little something. Global Sim Alliance has invited you to join their team. Aw, yeah.
Aerostar 457, turn right heading 080.
Oh, we got a new controller. I'll have to set up that team stuff after this flight. Thanks a lot, John Fly. Appreciate that. And thanks for stopping by the stream as well. All right. Oop. 160. Our initial climb. Theoretically speaking, we have a route programmed and our FMC. It may even get us there. I make no promises. I believe. Well, thanks guys for all the GSA welcomes. That's super nice of y'all. Let's get our APU going here. Get this thing ready to go. Maybe some lights might be helpful.
Delta 1098 completely active.
Delta 1098, cross runway 25 right, taxi. Any parking on the north side?
Correct.
Push
Delta
wise.
1098, Foxtrot 6, cross runway
We got nothing to
25
worry
right.
about there. We can
Turn
push
right
into
on
this
Echo,
alley
turn
without
left
any
on
trouble.
Tango, and taxi to parking via Charlie. See ya.
Make sure I know where we are on the airport here. Looks like we're just right in this little division here.
Delta 1098, go straight ahead, cross runway 25
Oh.
right, a right turn on Echo, a left on Tango, a left on Charlie to Delta ramps. Good day.
Hey, Delta.
I don't know if that is
1098 straight
applicable.
ahead, crossing 25
MEA or
right,
minimal obstacle
and,
clearance altitude.
Right on Delta. Yeah, we're parking right at the east end.
All right, APU is good
Delta
to go.
1098, okay, you can taxi to parking via Delta.
APU
Usually,
is good to
if you
go.
want to go to the north side, that's fine.
Got some air
I'm
coming
at
up.
the northern half of the airport, but you can taxi to parking via Echo or
Ground
Delta. Have a
services
good day.
can come off.
Okay, Delta 98, thanks.
Are our transponders still set? I turned it back
Aerostar
on.
457 heavy, 4 miles from Fink, turn right, a right turn heading 190, maintain 3000 till stops
Get
and
some
localize
lights
cross
on.
runway 16 right approach.
Ground power is already disconnected. Yes. Yes. APU power is on. Okay, I think we are ready to push. So let's do it. Oh, shoot. Nope, IRSs weren't aligned yet. Dang, damn it. I wonder if moving the plane will screw that up. We will find out. 4 minutes left. I'm so used to the pre-flight taking longer that usually this comes up by then, in any case. Localizer 1099 for the departure. We're going to fly the back course 344 to 10 DME and then intercept Mustang. So let's get Mustang on the other side there. That course will be 314. Yeah, thanks,
American
John.
250, Salt Lake City.
This is my first flight with it. I'm not averse to sharing the overlay. Right now it has a couple features that are
Air
specifically wired to
457
my
Heavy,
account.
Contact Seattle Tower 120.95.
But once that's no longer the case, I will have no problem in sharing it and letting
November
other folks use it.
855 Charlie Papa, turn left heading 330 vector ILS runway 16 right approach.
Oh, I hope we don't have to restart those
South
stupid
Aerosol
irises.
457 Heavy, ILS 16 right.
Aerosaur 457 Heavy, Seattle Tower, wind calm, runway 16 right, clear to land.
Still haven't been able to successfully get this plane to do a turn on the ground, which is sort of disappointing because that was one of the things I really wanted to do.
November 612 Sierra Romeo, contact Oakland Center 132.2.
2 more minutes. Until we see if we screwed up by moving the stupid plane. Oh, I really hope we didn't. I have a GPS
November
position now.
612 Sierra Romeo, Oakland Center, hello.
That's good.
Reno, altimeter 3025.
3025, already got it. Yeah, MOCA is minimum obstacle clearance altitude. Why and where that's different from MEA, I couldn't tell you, not being an instrument pilot myself. Sort of sitting here waiting for this stupid thing to align. 1 minute. All right. Please come up so we can push and get out of here. Please. Do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Still 1 minute. Ah, yes. All right, we're good. No one saw us push without a aligned IRS. Everything's fine. All right. While our handy truck is pushing us, let's go ahead and get our engine started. Into coming up on engine 2. See, I'm learning a lot about this MEA thing. It is worth noting that Peter has disconnected, the guy I was hoping would give us some advice if we flew this approach or this departure wrong. I'm sure the controller who's on now knows what he's doing. But Peter, especially being a real world ATP, I have a lot of confidence in pretty much anything he might choose to tell me. Our fuel pump's on. That'll do for push. Thank you. You probably should put your seatbelts on. Yeah, we probably should arm the emergency lights. We're going a little off script here. Window heat's on. All right, got a good start. Yep. Set our brakes while we're thinking about it. Set our flaps while we're thinking about it. Start her up. Give me some hydraulic pumps.
Aerosaur 457 heavy taxi via Papa cross runway 16 center cross.
Technically, I guess I
runway
was supposed to turn my packs off
16 left taxi
to
parking via Bravo.
start the
See ya.
engines, but that's all right.
Taxi via Papa across 16 left, and this frequency. Have a good night as well. Aerosaur 457 heavy.
November 5 Charlie Papa turn right heading 350.
Looks like a good start on 1 and 2. Taxi lights are on. Switch our power here and kill the APU. Packs are now good to go to auto. No more APU bleed. APU is off. Okay. We're ready to roll. I think I'm rushing. Yeah, I am rushing a little bit, but if you see something, say something. All right, we're going to come out of the alley here. And hold up. Right before we enter this movement area. Reno ground, good evening. It's Alaska 417 with the weather out of the alley just short of Alpha, taxi for departure.
Alaska 417 Reno ground. Runway 16
Uh-oh.
right taxi via Alpha.
Alaska 417, we are on the Hungary 3 departure right now, which requires 3-4 left. So that'll work, that's fine, or we can replan. Just let me know what you want.
Alaska 417 wind 0504. Looks like we're gonna trend 16. If you'd like 3-4, I can get that to you. So if you want we can either 3-4 or 16. If you want 16, I'll just reassign the SID.
Let's do 3-4. I'm kind of interested to see how this SID plays out, so if that works for you, that works for me.
Alaska 417, it works for me. Runway 34 left, taxi via Alpha cross runway 7.
Alpha cross 7234 left for Alaska 417. Bit of a terrain issue there. Let's see if I can fix that. Alright, we are theoretically on Alpha, all the way down to 3-4 left. No, dude, we're hauling butt on the ground. We gotta go all the way down to the end of this 11,000 foot runway. So, I mean, it's 36 knots. It's not like that fast. The max is 30 in a straight line, so 36 isn't like bonkers fast. Is it? Alright, so this is the DME for that back course. We're gonna fly it straight out to, fly that localizer straight out to 10 DME on it, and then turn to REMT, and then do kind of a complicated dogleg around to Mustang VOR, and God willing we'll be high enough there to not have to hold, because I don't really want to hold if we can avoid it. Alright, we got a couple things to do here. We need to get the tower. Departure frequency was 119.2, so that's already good to go. We need to get taxi lights off and landing lights on. Strobe can stay on, that's fine. Starters to continuous ignition. Flight director comes on, auto throttle comes on. Re-verify. Speeds are good. Heading is pretty good. 340 is fine. Altitude for 10,000 right now. Flaps are at 5. Auto brake is set to RTO. Trim, we did not do the trim. Should be 3.4, 3.6. There we go. Reno Tower, Alaska 417. We're short of 3-4 left, ready to go.
Alaska 417, Reno Tower, runway 34 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 3-4 left for Alaska 417.
November 5, Charlie Papa, turn 10 degrees left.
Let's go, big boy. Let's take that runway like we own it. Okay, that localizer is just about centered, so we just gotta fly it. Let's go. Oof, come on. Get in the air. There we go. Gear can come up. Bring the flaps in. Alright. Let it climb us at 250. And let's go find that localizer.
Alaska 417, contact departure.
Or departure 417. What's happening here?
American 250, contact Denver Center 120, Perkin 133.57, see ya. 133.67,
There we go.
3367, see ya.
NorCal departure, good evening, Alaska 417 through 7,300 for 10,000 right now.
November 855, Charlie Pop, disregard. Alaska 417, Reno NorCal departure, radar contact, climb, maintain settable 190.
190 for 417. So that solves one of my problems. We're still kind of chasing this localizer a little bit more than I would like.
Denver Center, roger. November 855, Charlie Papa contact, Seattle approach 133.65, see ya.
And we're going to watch it go the other way. Whee! It's like a sailboat. I kind of want to, I'm just going to put it on LNAV. because it should track to Hungary, and that'll make the plane not try and rock around trying to follow that stupid localizer. And it should fly the turn.
November 855 Charlie Papa, Seattle approach.
Should go
maintain
from Hungary to
4000.
Rempty and then make this turn over to Mustang, and I'm hoping Mustang, by the time we get to Mustang, we'll have plenty of altitude.
Alaska 417, contact Oakland Center on 132.905. See ya.
3295 for 417. Oakland Center, good evening. Alaska 417 through 12,100 for 19,000.
Alaska 417, Oakland Center, call maintain flight level 350.
Up 350 for 417. Sweet. Going up. Alright. So now we can do VNAV. Reset our altimeter. Never turned on the pressurization system, so whoops. Get that going. Lights in. 2, 3, 4. Strobes come off. Don't need continuous ignition anymore. Everything else looks good. Aside from the lack of cabin pressure, everything's fine. Speed brake come off. And gear lever off. Okay, so now we're going to make sure, we're going to watch this thing and make sure it makes this little turn here that it's supposed to. Yep. So realistically, we didn't have to worry too much about that climb and hold because, as you can see, we're already up at almost in the flight levels, and we haven't even come anywhere close to Mustang. So, as it turns out, that wasn't a big deal and something we need to worry about. But I can see how in a smaller plane that didn't climb this quickly, it would be something you'd have to worry about because there's definitely a lot of mountains in the area. So.
November 855 Charlie Papa, turn right heading 080 to send and maintain 3000.
Looks like top of climb. I'm going to do my little predictions again. 13 minutes.
No contact, 119.2, see ya. November 612, NorCal approach, expect ILS, X-ray, runway 16 right approach. November 612, Sierra, I'm going to turn left heading 3, actually I'll vector you east and then turn you west, disregard. And November 612, Sierra, I'm going to flag present heading. Vector final approach course.
Okay, so now we're making that right turn to Mustang.
November 855 Charlie Papa, the heading was 080, turn left heading 080 please.
Looks like interesting. So because I don't have SBA, I don't have an approach loaded. So let's go do that. Arrival.
November 855 Charlie Papa, Seattle approach.
We'll just put runway 25 in there for now. Oh no! No! That's horrible news. A SAS will crash at altitude? Shoot. Well, we found another bug. doesn't seem to have completely crapped the plane. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what we can salvage. 'Cause I really don't want to go do all that again. Not one bit. Or yeah. Okay. I still don't have my ETA on here. I guess because we're not at top of climb yet. Oh, this flight is officially on notice. As soon as you have a Sassel crash like that, who knows what might happen. So we'll just have to watch everything super carefully. Sassel is the maybe it's Gizmo on this plane. I don't know. Sassel and Gizmo are both Lua engines for their engines to interface X-Plane with the Lua programming language. So most, well, not most, but I guess many complex aircraft are written in the Lua programming language for all the gauges and avionics and stuff. And so that little window you just saw was a debugging console, essentially, that pops up. Yes, Gizmo. That's what I was thinking. Thanks, Ridiculous, for the correction, and hello, good to see you. So that window that pops up is a Gizmo debugging console that happens whenever an unhandled exception gets thrown by the plane's systems. And in that case, me selecting that runway caused an error that the programming was not sufficiently set up to handle, so you get that debugging console. It does drop a log as well. So you can send that into the developers, and they can figure out what you ran into and hopefully guard against it. It's not. I mean, as a developer myself, I get it. These things are complicated. They get into situations that you don't always expect, but it definitely sends like a moment of panic whenever I see that little white screen pop up, especially when it's like we just took off. It was all going reasonably well. And again, I want to fly this plane, this particular plane, this model, for 12 plus hours in a couple weeks. So changing runways is one of the deadly sins. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. In this case, I didn't put in an approach at all in the ground, and I was curious if I needed to do that, so that's why I went in to do that. It's fine. It's not a huge deal. The plane seems to be flying fine, and as long as we can...
November 612 Sierra, may I turn left heading 350, vector final approach course and maintain 10.
As long as we have aviation, avionics for navigation, I can fly this plane slant alpha. We can navigate.
612 Sierra, affirmative.
We can navigate just using the VORs. We don't need to do GPS approaches. We don't need to do anything fancy. So, but it does make me think that trying to fly this plane for 5 straight legs without a reset might not be a good idea. I might have to do a longer pre-flight between each one. There's no way you're going to get to do the IXEG to do day in the life. Well, this is the plane that I know the best that is capable of this kind of speeds. I mean, I guess I could do the default 737, but I don't have XFMC set up. When I had it set up, it would crash the sim hard, like to desktop occasionally. So that had to go. I don't know for sure that it was XFMC doing it, but I uninstalled it, and I haven't crashed since then. So we will see about that. But that's my plan is to fly this thing because it's the only airliner that I have that I'm at all comfortable with. So
I'm not sure why you're saying that. You should only see, if you're going to Eagle, you should only see one LDA DME. American 250, yeah, I'm not sure, unfortunately. You might want to double check both of those to see if which one is exactly like the LDA DME runway 25 approach that's published on AirNav or Air Charts right now, because that's the one you would have to fly. Yep, an American 250. You can fly the approach with just the localizer if you'd like. You don't have to use the FMC, but you can type in if you'd like the waypoints manually, because it's not an RNAV approach.
I've flown that approach. Yeah, the FlyJSim 732, I don't have that that aircraft, so I'd have to buy it and learn it
No problem.
quickly. I'm a little worried about the... I'm not worried about navigating it or using the FMC if it even has an FMC, which I suspect it might not. I'm super comfortable navigating slant alphas. That's not a huge problem. I worry about this, like the rest of the systems, like the engines and so on. I'm guessing they're more complicated than they are
Southwest
on a
159,
737-300. But yeah, you're right about that. It's basically a 300 knot Cessna, and that's not a bad thing. Although, so far so good. We got a Cecil error, or a Gizmo error. Sorry, not Cecil. But everything seems to be working okay. We just switched to cruise, or we're switching to cruise because we got to our destination altitude. We're maintaining, yeah, cruise speed of 742. So, yeah, I don't have any of the flight factor jets. I hear great things about the 757 and the 767. I do want to get them at some point. Those are big planes, though. I really haven't spent much sim time in anything bigger than a 737, so that would be a...
American 250.
Not only having to
25,
learn the
descent
plane,
for you shortly,
but
about another 10 miles or so.
the craft of flying larger heavies. I know the
American 250,
737's not a heavy
descent
anymore,
level
but
240.
it's bigger than this.
American 250, descent at pilot's discretion, your discretion.
Ridiculous. When are you planning to give it a shot? Just curious. See, I don't have a SPA waypoint on here. I don't have a Santa Barbara arrival because it wasn't in the route. But it is now. But it doesn't know that it's my destination. It's okay. Everything's fine. Some tile mismatch issues here. This weekend out of the plans through. Yeah, man, go for it if you can. I'm kind of surprised no one else has jumped on it. I'm scheduling it for a time that I already know wife and kids are going to be gone pretty much all day that Saturday the 11th. So that's why I'm targeting that day. That also gives me a couple more weeks to get like my sim set up, get some scenery for the area, make sure my ortho all works. I'm planning to like load a sim up with a jet or something, like a fighter jet, and just fly between all the different airports and make sure there's no tile errors, there's no, anything that could cause a problem.
Is 210
So
miles, Denver is 148.
we hit our cruise a couple minutes in advance of our estimate, so I'll go ahead and clear that off.
American 250, I'll work on getting you an arrival, and you're clear to Denver Airport for a now, fly present heading.
Top of descent is not
An American 450,
forecasted?
and then altitude you can maintain flight level 310.
Okay, we don't have a forecast for that? I guess it doesn't know. I guess because there's no approach, it doesn't know that we're done after Santa Barbara. Yeah, oh look at this. You can see. It thinks Santa Barbara is going to be at flight level 350. Well, it is not. It is going to be at... Where's the elevation? There it is, 13 feet. Yeah, so... Of course. Can I do 1,000? Yeah, there we go. Now do I have a target top descent? Yeah, there it is. 18 minutes.
American 250, I have an amended clearance advisory to copy. American 250, clear. Actually, let me just make sure that you have this. Do you have a Teller 2 RNAV arrival on board?
Boy, I haven't heard people being asked if they have arrivals on board for a long time. That was a
American
VETSIM-ism.
250, Roger. Clear to Denver Airport. Proceed direct Jeanette. That's Juliet, November, Echo, Tango, Tango. You can fly heading is a 100 able. Proceed direct Jeanette. Teller 2 arrival. Descent at PAL, discretion maintain flight level 240.
Just accepted my invitation for GSA. So, John Fly, if you're still watching, thanks
And
again for
American
sending that.
250, you can proceed direct Jeanette and join the arrival.
I'm going to look up real quick and see how to set the team.
American 250, you can proceed direct Jeanette and join the arrival from there.
Set a featured team as my stream title. I believe that might have already been done.
November 612 Sierra, did you want the full approach from Winners, or did you want Vector Stefano?
Yep. It shows up as GSA now. Sweet. All set.
November 612 Sierra, Roger.
That's awesome. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about when I say GSA, that's Global Sim Alliance. It's a Twitch team of streamers, and I've been talking to John Fly about joining up with these guys because I looked at who else was in this team, and it's pretty much a ton of people that I already follow and have on my auto host list because they're awesome. People like Catstrader, John Fly, Valdudes, Durka, Aerosim Gaming, I think, is on GSA. So if you refresh my page now, you should now see on my stream title it says I'm streaming on Global Sim Alliance. If you click on that, you will see the other members of the team, and all those people are super solid follows. Honestly, if you're following me, you're probably already following most of them because they're way more popular than my little
American
stream is. But
descend via
yeah,
the
super
Teller
cool.
2 arrival to Denver altimeter 3006.
Nice to be deemed worthy of such an esteemed company, for sure.
November 612 Sierra, trim opening 290.
Lights are off. Our pressurization doing okay? Yeah, it looks like it. All right. Now, interesting. Now I have a Santa Barbara ETA. I wonder if it's just because it was my next. There's enough upcoming stops that it's showing me that correctly. Yeah, who knows? We are likely to get a visual into Santa Barbara, which, as I said earlier, will be the first time I've ever flown a visual in this plane. But I think that's fine. I'm gonna need to do one sooner or later, so it's a good time for it. Santa Barbara is a pretty simple airport. One big runway, big-ish, 6,000 feet. For those of you who observed our Reno approach and landing, you saw we landed pretty long and pretty high there. And we used the whole runway. At Santa Barbara, we will not have such luxuries. We will need to make sure we come down pretty quickly and pretty aggressively to land within a 6,000 foot runway. Like, it's not crazy tight, but it is like not a lot of room for error. So
November 612 Sierra, turn left heading 270 to set a maintain 8,500.
we should get a handoff to LA here, I think, pretty soon. Let's go look on SkyVector. Coming up on the Freant VOR. Yeah, so no? Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, LA won't be down till right before Derb, so never mind. We got a ways to go. I forgot Oakland owned all this area, so. Hello, mountains. Yeah, Santa Barbara's reporting winds calm, visibility 10 miles, clear skies. So no reason to shoot the full ILS. It's a great chance to shoot the visual.
November 612, Sierra Romeo, 5 miles from discs.
Hey, Jay
7 miles from
Cross.
discs, turn left heading 1.
Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that.
Linear 0, maintain 7,500 until establishing local ash cutoffs, X-ray, runway 16 right approach.
Thanks for stopping by, man. If you feel like chatting, let me know where you're watching from. Where in the world? If you feel like lurking, that's also fine.
American 250, number altimeter 3006.
Streamlabs alert took a little while there. Zorbit, Xorbit. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Thanks for stopping into the stream tonight. We are on our way to Santa Barbara, where we are expecting clear skies. Oh man, Aerosim Gaming, the 84 viewer host. That is awesome. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Pretty sure everyone watching my stream is already a follower of Aerosim Gaming, but if you're not, you should check him out. His stream is awesome. Flying Jackal, good to see you. Thanks for the follow. Flying Jackal also totally worth following. He does 3D modeling. Oh, they're coming fast and furious now. I love it. Got a raid from ASG. I love it. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. Good timing, too. We're just sitting up here at cruise, so I can say hello to people. I can say hello to Wayne7154. You can say hello to DVA Delta Virtual 4695. John Fly's got the cat straighter emoji going. Love it. JSnap 1982. Thank you, sir. This is my first flight with that overlay. Did that myself. A little custom development. Been working on that for about the last 2 or 3 days. Yeah, just something to look at, something to play with. While we're sitting up here at cruise, you can watch the things go up and down. Thank you so much, Aerosim. Thanks, Rush, for sending all your guys over here. I appreciate that. That's super cool.
November 612, Sierra Romeo, contact Reno Tower 118.7. See ya.
We're flying for my favorite real-life airline, Alaska. Just got back from a trip down to John Wayne. Went to Disneyland. Flew Alaska both ways.
Reno Tower, May 16 right, code land.
Last couple of years, I've been flying Alaska enough to get MVP with them and enjoy all the benefits of that. It's a great airline. Love it. So whenever I can in the sim, I always fly Alaska, even if it's not quite a real-world route. They don't fly Reno to Santa Barbara, pretty sure. Although they do fly into John Wayne, oddly enough. Reno to John Wayne. So that's kind of weird. Cabby Lee 3, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, I know. GSA members want the overlay. I got you. I hear you. Give me some time. It's gonna take a little while to get it ready to be genericized for other streamers. There's a couple things that are tied to my account, but I appreciate it. The interest. Joker Effects, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Since we got I know we got a bunch of people right now who don't really know what I am. Who I am. I'll just introduce myself real quick. My name is Tim. I work on PilotEdge. I'm not a controller. I'm actually the CTO of the company. I wrote the website, the billing system. A lot of the web tools that you use, like the map, are under my control. I have done ATC in the past on VATSIM, so One day I would love to do PilotEdge ATC, but I do have a full-time day job. I don't work for PilotEdge full-time, just part-time. So, yeah, I've been simming about, about 14 years now.
Southwest 159
Started with
contact, Oakland Center.
VATSIM, did ATC on VATSIM
123.20.
in both the Oakland Center and Seattle Center, did organizing, was the assistant head of the Seattle RTC on VATSIM for several years. And took a break a couple years ago, had kids. As those of you who have kids know, they tend to monopolize a little bit of time. So, but now they're older and more able to fend for themselves, and kind of getting back into it, been streaming. I mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it again. I am planning to do on Saturday, February 11th, something like 12-hour stream where I'll be running through the Day in the Life Challenge, which is 5 legs of real-world. It's a real-world flight schedule, essentially, that was put together by Peter, one of the PilotEdge staffers.
Southwest 159, Oakland Center, Roger.
So that'll be
It's gonna
fun.
be the Canada
It'll be a
Rivals
challenge of
Annual
endurance.
Operators
You have like 30
Series
minutes
2026.
between each flight to not only do the shutdown and also pre-flight for the next flight, but also take any breaks, eat any meals, if you're not eating at cruise, that is. So another aspect of the challenge is all 5 legs have to be completed in 9 hours of flight time, because that's the single day FAA duty maximum for a real-world pilot. They can't be flying for more than 9 hours. Because it's a challenge, the flights are basically scheduled to take exactly 9 hours. So you have to have almost no room for mistakes or be able to fly very fast. And we will be flying very fast because there's no way I will not be making any mistakes. So stay tuned for that. We'll be, like I said, planning for Saturday, February 11th, planning to start around 9:30-ish Pacific time, West Coast time, and we'll be going for well into the evening, probably 12 hours. I've got giveaways already, got 2 excellent giveaways, well over $150 of flight sim stuff will be given away already. I'm hoping to get a couple more lined up, and if need be, I'll just fund some myself because it's fun. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Toss a follow if you haven't already, so you'll get notifications when I'm on, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. As I said earlier, it's as much a test of your sim's stability and ability to not crash. I'm going to try and do it in the IXEG 737 because it's the plane that I know the best for the moment. Someone suggested the FJS 732. Would not be averse to that, but I don't have it right now. So I would have to get it and learn it in the next couple weeks. This plane has foibles. We've already had a Gizmo crash on this flight once, although it doesn't seem to have affected us that much. Hopefully. But yeah, that's the current plan. And I'm realizing as I'm babbling away, I haven't heard ATC in a little while. So let's go ahead and make sure we haven't lost him. Oakland Center, Alaska 417, you still got us?
Alaska 417, I do.
Okay, got nervous, didn't hear anything.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I know the 732 is on sale. I just bought the Q400 like 4 hours ago. So I'm not. My wallet is not prepared to continue buying airliners. I fly small planes. This is not what I do. But CL Thomas LZ, thank you for the follow, sir. Thanks so much for stopping by. All right. So we should be descending here pretty soon, according to the FMC, as noted previously. Yes, your dinner was definitely on me, although by the time the org takes their fees, if you can eat for whatever your portion of $20 is, then yeah, enjoy it, man.
American 250 Denver approach, Roger. Verify you did say you have the weather, and do you have an approach request? Denver is, I can pretty much offer any runway.
Delta 757 pilot, thank you for the follow. I think I've seen you around in the chats here and there. Yeah, I've never been to Santa Barbara. I really want to go. I've flown in the sim many times because it was one of my favorite places to go when PilotEdge just had the LA coverage area. Santa Barbara was pretty and nice to, had a nice scenery, which I actually forgot to load before this flight because we landed at Reno and decided where to go next on the fly, so I didn't really get a chance. But yeah, it's super cool. Beats 191.
Southwest
Hello.
159, contact, no
Good evening to
Northwest
you, sir. Thanks for stopping
119.2,
by.
see ya.
This is by far the most viewers of
Alaska
my little
417,
stream.
Contact LA Center 133.55, see ya.
3355 for 417. Yep. This is by far the most viewers my silly little stream has ever gotten, so I'm super appreciative to the GSA guys.
3033.
Later, Flying Jackal. See you later. Los Angeles Center. Good evening, Alaska 417 at flight level 350.
Alaska 417, LA Center, good evening.
DB Vetter. Hello. Good evening to you. Thanks for stopping in. So we should be ready to descend here in just a couple minutes, according to our VNAV planning. We're at 350 and we got to get down to just about sea level. Oh, Beats is actually a she. All right, good to know. My apologies about that. I will remember that.
2211 Mikey, Bakersfield Municipal Airport at your 11 o'clock and about 7 miles, advising you have it in sight.
A boot. Got the Canadian ATC on tonight.
2211 Mike, it's your clear visual approach into the Bakersfield
Hamlim
Municipal
73.
Airport.
Hello. Good evening to you. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
2211 Mike, thanks. Radar services terminated. Report IFR cancellation.
All right.
Or in the air on this frequency. Change
Just for the
frequency approved.
sake of our estimating, we're looking at 2347 Zulu, 40 minutes to get on the ground. Let's go ahead and set that.
Number 20565, advise when you have the Bakersfield Airport in sight.
Flying your favorite plane at the moment. Yeah, you know what? I like this plane a lot. I've been flying it pretty much exclusively the last couple of weeks. I've got a couple other streams on my YouTube. You're welcome to go back and check those out, where I was kind of learning this plane. I have one stream where I made a bit of a mess up of an approach. All right, so we have hit our TOD, and we're now in altitude hold because we're off our VNAV pass. So I'm going to call up and see if we get lower. Los Angeles, Alaska 417. Any chance we can start down?
Alaska 417, send pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 240.
Down to 240, pilot's discretion for 417. Thanks. So yeah, my YouTube, I got a couple other videos flying this plane, doing some silly things I shouldn't do in it.
Alaska 417, minor reroute for you, advise ready to copy.
Ready to copy 417.
Alaska 417, cleared to Santa Barbara Airport, present position direct Durb, and direct San Marcos, that's Romeo Zulu Sierra, direct.
Okay, we're cleared to Santa Barbara via direct Durb, direct Santa Marcos. Thanks. Okay, now I'm going to tempt the Gizmo gods. Okay, so far so good. Then we're going to put in San Marcos. Then Santa Barbara. Exact. All right. Excellent. That worked. We already had one Gizmo failure on this flight, so I'm in high alert mode.
576 Tango Bravo, runway 11, clear to land.
Other thing I'll mention too,
010 Whiskey, Roger, runway 11 landing traffic.
I just set up my Discord a couple weeks ago. Any of you that are joining the follow train here that would like to come join on in, come on in. It's still getting started, but we have a small active crew of people who just like to talk airplanes and talk sim and hang out. You're welcome to share your streams. If you're a streamer in there, just drop links in. Or if you make videos, post those in and share with our little gang. That'd be awesome. Exactly. God's a Gizmo. Prepare our flight plan. Prepare the sacrifices to the gods of Gizmo. Let us get on the ground in one piece without totally screwing things up. All right.
Alaska 417, contact LA Center 135.5.
35.5 for Alaska 417. Los Angeles Center, Alaska 417 through 27,100, 424.
Alaska 417, LA Center, Raja, descend pilot's discretion, maintain 10,000. Santa Barbara altimeter 3029er.
3029er and pilot's discretion down to 10 for 417.
Number 3010, Whiskey, runway 11, line up and wait.
Okay. All's looking good right now. Altimeter's on for the arrival.
576 Tango, Roger, join Alpha.
Cabin's descending the way it should be. We'll leave the lights off until we get a little lower.
Number 3010, Whiskey, runway 11.
We're still on VNAV for speeds, which is fine for now. When we get onto Santa Barbara approach, we should get our approach assignment. Again, I'm anticipating a visual.
Contact Bakersfield Tower 118.1.
Visual 25. Winds are calm, skies are clear, so there's really no reason to shoot the ILS. And I haven't flown a visual in this plane yet, so it's a good chance to do so. Yeah. Other than that, I think we're in good shape.
Or 20565 Bakersfield Tower, good evening. Report a 3-mile left base, runway 30 right.
Should be on the ground in a half hour or less here. Santa Barbara does have a 6,000-foot runway, so my tendency with this plane in the past has been to land it high and fast. That's not going to fly here. No pun intended. We're going to need to stick this thing and stick it good. Accordingly, I'm going to plan a flaps 40 approach with a VREF at 130. So I'll take a look at that link in just a second. Yeah, different destination in flight. I also generally have found it to be pretty decent. The Gizmo crash we had was when I realized I hadn't put an approach in yet on this particular flight, and I tried to add just an approach to runway 25 without selecting the ILS or the VOR or anything. And I got a Gizmo crash for my trouble. So far so good. Everything continues to be fine. We've been flying for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, and things have been fine.
3010, contact
But
Santa Barbara departure.
I always get a little nervous when that happens. Wow, 767 into SBA. Man, that must have been one hell of a brakes to be able to get that thing stopped in just over 6,000 feet. I mean, I know it's like not that short compared to what the pilots are used to. Like John Wayne is not that much longer. Burbank isn't that much longer. But those are like real pilots who know what they're doing, not just
3010 Whiskey Santa Barbara
me up
departure.
here.
Radar contact.
So we got some traffic off the nose there. Hello, traffic. Now that we're in LA, we have the PilotEdge drones available to us again, which we didn't have on our earlier flight since we were in the western area.
Whiskey, what's your first approach request?
Coming down through 18,000, so we'll turn the lights on.
Number 3010 Whiskey, Reggie.
Looks like we'll hit 10,000 right after Durb and right before San Marcos, so that should be just fine. Speed-wise, we're going to have to start slowing down here pretty aggressively as we get closer to 10,000. Don't want to exceed the speed limits. Plus, I've discovered with this plane, you come down or slow down, not both at the same time. So ever since I tried to land at Eagle County and ran it off the end of the runway because I landed 50 knots over VREF, I am much more cautious about my speed planning and descend early and often and slow down early and often. So all right. I would be surprised if we don't get a approach handoff here pretty soon. We're only 50 miles from the airport, and we're got to be coming through their vertical coverage area here pretty soon. So we'll be ready for that. I'm going to, let's see. There is no ILS for this runway. 25. There's a VOR approach. I could put the back course in, but I think I'm good. It should be routine. Should be no big deal. We'll see. We'll see if it actually works out that way. For my day in the live stream, I do have another mic on order because I don't want to be off to wear a headset. This Corsair headset is actually fairly comfortable, but after 12 hours, I'm going to be ready for a change. So that should get here tomorrow. So I'm hoping to do a stream. I'm hoping to do one on Sunday. We'll see about that. And I should have the new audio up and running, and you'll be able to hear me a little better and a little less breath noise, a little less going on. So yeah. Just working on getting better at flying, getting better at streaming, and putting the whole thing together. But thanks to those of you that have hung out with me and watched my adventures here. We should be on the ground. It looks like about half an hour, 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. Hopefully we stay on the ground. Hopefully we don't have to go around. Hopefully we don't run off the end of the runway. All these things have happened to me before and may yet happen again. So
3010 Whiskey.
coming up on the range here.
You're at 4,000, cleared localizer, runway 11 approach.
Get a little view outside while we're descending here.
3010 Whiskey traffic for you, 1 o'clock, 2.5 miles. Southeastbound VFR target altitude indicates.
So JSnap, the real question is, what mic did you get? If you got the same mic as me, then we might actually be the same person. We might have a little Tyler Durden situation going on here. I'm not going to tell you what I got. I want to see what you have to say first.
Not necessary, runway 30 right, clear to land. The wind is calm.
If you and I got the same mic, I'm going to be creeped out. I'm going to be super creeped out. Come on, JSnap. What kind of mic did you get? Sure, something. Okay. I got an Audio-Technica AT2020, so it's a different mic. We're not the same person after all. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Okay. We need to slow down. Like a lot. We're going to slow down to 250 right now. Oh, WH20. Yeah, I actually have one of those right here. I tried it. I didn't like the way it fit. It didn't fit well with my glasses. It didn't fit well with the headphones over the top. And I couldn't quite get it. I have a giant head, so I couldn't quite get it to not pinch. And it was also quieter than I expected. I have a pretty quiet talking voice anyway. I don't like to shout on the stream. And so that's why I'm going to the condenser instead. But that said, it's a great mic. I know Kat loves it. If John has it and likes it, then yeah, definitely give it a shot. No, Ridiculous, I did not buy a Blue Yeti. I didn't want a USB mic. I want an XLR because I already have audio interfaces. I have several audio interface options because I do sound for our band, and so I have all sorts of stuff. The band I'm in, and I looked at the Yeti, thought about it, but decided that XLR mic would be a little more flexible for future expansions. Confidence goes a long way. I think it's a fine mic. I know Kat said his took about a month to get comfortable, and the reality is I don't have a month. It was giving me headaches just trying to wear it, even though I was stretching it out. So I decided, yeah, headset without the actual earphones is probably not a good fit for me. But the quality's certainly there, and it sounded okay. It was a little quieter than I expected, but for a dynamic mic, I thought it sounded really good. So. Plus, then you could go teach spin class because you have a good aerobics mic, right? That's what all those instructors wear. Those little boom mics. So if you're into that. Okay.
417, contact Santa Barbara approach. 120.55.
2055 for Alaska 417. Santa Barbara approach. Good evening, Alaska 417 with the weather 10,000.
Alaska 417, Santa Barbara approach. Good evening, altimeter 3029, descend and maintain 8,000. Expect visual approach runway 25 unless you'd like something else.
Visual work great. Down to 8,000. Thanks. Get the tower loaded here.
Alaska 417, flighting 160 vector for the airport.
160 for the airport. We need to get the tower loaded here. 119.7. Ah, the Yeti Sherpa picks up keyboard. Yeah, I have a mechanical keyboard as well. I'm hoping I can get it so the cardioid pattern just picks up the voice without getting the keyboard too bad. And thankfully I do live on a pretty quiet street, so as long as the background noise from just people in the house, because I do live with a fair number of people. Got 2 kids, wife, 2 other roommates who live with us. So as long as that noise isn't too bad, I think the condenser should work out pretty well. We'll see. Hopefully, come back Sunday and find out. All right, so once we get over this ridge, we should have the field. Looks like some traffic there, some other traffic.
Welcome to Bakersfield, exit
right there.
Taxi Alpha to
So the
ramp
field should be
within
right
radio
over there.
frequency. That is a pass on the Cat 5.
Go ahead and start slowing down here. So yeah, we're planning flaps 40, so full flaps.
3010 Whiskey. Upon completion of this approach, execute the missed approach procedure as published.
We're going to be coming in 130 knots.
Published for 3010 Whiskey.
Super slow. Slow down to 210. All right, let's run through our approach list here real quick. Lights are good. Let's get our strobe on. Engine start to continuous.
Alaska 417, descend and maintain 5,000.
5,417. Engines are on continuous. Cabin signs are good. Anti-ice is not needed. It's too hot. Spoilers too armed. I said spoilers too armed. There we go. Auto brakes max. Take flaps 1. We are pretty high. I know we are. I know why we're high. It's because of this altitude here, but we gotta get slow.
417 heading 140.
140. I think he's giving us a little left turn dogleg here to help lose some altitude. Trying to fly this approach without using the speed brake. If I have to use the speed brake, I will. But hey, Torbinator, thanks for the host, man. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Torbinator 97 is a great streamer. If you're not following him, you should be. He does some awesome VFR point-to-point pilotage using the sectional navigating flights. Pretty fun. All right, now we're descending at a proper rated descent here. RE-eyed? Thanks, man. Dr. Nerd Rage, hello. RTA Terran, hello. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. We're just about to land here at Santa Barbara and shut down for the night. GBP 500, good to see you. We should be on the ground here in I don't know, just about 10 minutes, I'm guessing, maybe 15. Some traffic there. Love this coast to California flying here. This is awesome. We just came from Reno, and before that we came from Portland, so it's been a good couple legs here. RBI, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Torbinator 97, hello, hello. All right, finally leveling off at 5,000 here. We should get a turn back towards the airport here real soon. Once we level off at 5,000, I'm going to slow us down quite a bit more. There we go. Let's go 170. Yes, I know. X-Plane 10, practically vintage. But I like it. It's stable. It works most of the time. It doesn't crash most of the time. These are what I look for in a simulator. So, flaps 5. I got flaps 5? Yeah, there we go. Do. Airport's over there. Ready for that turn anytime.
Alaska 417,
There we go.
turn right heading 270, descend and maintain 3000.
270 and 3000 for 417. My guess is we had to go out over the water to be able to get down low enough to come in there. No, I know it hasn't. I know XP11 is not going to crash to desktop, but the plane instability is what I'm more worried about than the sim itself. The sim's pretty stable, I'm sure.
2211 Mike, roger on request, standby.
Once we get down to 3,000, I'll go ahead and get this thing really configured here. Got the field in sight.
Alaska 417, rolling out of the turn Santa Barbara Airport will be 12 o'clock, 11 miles.
Yeah, we got inside for 417.
Alaska 417, clear to approach runway 25.
Visual approach 25 for 417. Yeah, Gizmo never crashes. It already crashed for us once on this flight. So. I don't believe you. All right. Let's fly this sucker. We'll go flaps 15. Set our speed bug. That's the gear warning. We're good for deployment. Here they come. And we'll go flaps 30. Really slow this thing down.
101 Mike is cleared to the San Diego Lindbergh Airport via Fillmore.
He's giving this
Foxtrot
clearance.
India Mike.
We're going to need a landing
G1
clearance here
Los
pretty
Angeles, Lima
soon.
Alpha X-ray, Bayview 5 arrival. Maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 200 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 118.8. And squawk 33.
Auto throttles off. I got the airplane.
2500.
We are fast.
417, contact Tower 109.7.
Over to tower, see ya. Santa Barbara Tower, Alaska 417 on the visual for 25.
Alaska 417, Santa Barbara Tower, wind calm, runway 25, clear to land.
Clear to land 25, Alaska 417. Notice I did that very quickly.
2211 Mike, go ahead with the readback.
Nice of him to hold the readback on that clearance to give me my landing clearance. That was appreciated. All right, runway's there. We're getting to a reasonable speed now.
2211 Mike,
So we're
readback
picking
is
any
correct,
lights.
except it's not direct Fillmore. It'll be your own nav to Fillmore, as I cannot provide any terrain and obstacle separation climbing out of the Lima 45.
1,000.
Rest readback is correct. Call me holding short of the runway number 1 for departure. I'll have your eye for release at that time.
Boy, there's no wind, so I got no excuse if I screw this up. As I said before, this is my first visual approach in this aircraft. Everything else I've flown has been an ILS, or I flew the LDA DME into 2.5 into Aspen, which is actually a super fun approach. If you are a sim flyer and you have not flown into Eagle County, I should say, if you are on PilotEdge and you have not flown into Eagle County, you owe it to yourself. I know it's not the current bonus field anymore, but you can still fly in there, and it's awesome. All right, lights are good. Brakes good. Spoiler's good. Yeah, only 55 people watching. Twice as many as I've ever watched my stream, ever. So, yeah, it's no big deal. It's fine. Everything's fine. Also, my mouse has stopped working.
400.
So if I needed to adjust anything right now, I could not do so. That's how it's encouraging.
300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
All right, we need all the reversers. All of them. Every last reverser. Come on. There we go. All right. That went pretty well, I thought, actually. I was pretty pleased with that.
Alaska 417, welcome to Santa Barbara. Taxi Alpha Bravo to the ramp. You can remain this frequency. Cross runways 15 right and 15 left.
Okay, cross 15 right and 15 left, and to the ramp with you, Alaska 417. Yes, I know. I need to get actual Santa Barbara scenery. I do not have any right now. This is just the defaults. You know, this was going a lot better when my mouse was working. Not sure what happened there. See if I can unplug it real quick. Nope, that's the keyboard. Nothing like taxiing while you unplug USB cables at the same time. Sebastian 2803, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh, there's my mouse. Yay, it works again. All right, once we park, I will go back and do a quick replay, and you can watch the landing from the outside, because that was actually pretty good, I thought. I liked that landing. But we'll get parked at the gate and disconnect from PilotEdge so that the controller doesn't see us flying around. Well, aside from the Gizmo failure, which gave me a freaking heart attack, that was a pretty good flight, actually. Loved the landing. Nice to finally get a visual approach under my belt. Controller definitely helped us out by giving us vectors to line up straight in, pretty much. So it wasn't exactly hard, but at the same time, you know, it's not automatic. So this monitor, yeah. So I'm using
November
a.
2211 Mike.
I'll turn. Let me get
Bakersfield
off
approach,
PilotEdge here.
Roger.
Disconnected.
There we go. I'm using an Acer X34 monitor, which is a 21:9 monitor, and you're just seeing the middle 16:9. I've actually got more screen to either side that you're not able to see, and it's awesome. I love this monitor. I got it in refurb. I would not pay the insane retail price for it, but as a refurb directly from Acer, I think it was worth it. So let's go to replay mode. Let's find a good. That'll work. What is Gizmo? So Gizmo is the Lua engine that is used to program this aircraft. So it's programmed into the Lua programming language, and Gizmo is essentially an interpreter for Lua that allows aircraft developers to write Lua scripts for their planes instead of having to write them in C++. Yeah, so what I had to do to get a refurb X34, I actually had to make a bot that scraped the Acer website, and when it went on sale, sent me a push notification and actually called me, because they would go on refurb and then they would sell out within about 10 minutes. And it still happened a couple times that they would list them and then they would sell out and I didn't get one. And then finally I was able to get in there and get one. So. You know what? I will take that landing. I will take that all day long. I will take it so much that I want to watch it again. Splitters didn't come up. That's interesting. Love to know why that didn't happen. Oh, just a replay bug? Yeah, it could be. Could be. I was hoping to see if they come up, because I never have enough time to actually see if they come up when I'm flying the plane, so. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Other than a little skid, which always happens when I get my my feet on the pedals there, that was pretty decent. All right, well that is it for me for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming by. Thanks to Aerosim Gaming, thanks to Torbinator97 for the monster hosts tonight and bringing a bunch of people over. If you haven't already followed, I'd love to get you on my list and be able to connect with you in the future. I do have a Discord as well. Can't think about the cause me to come up exactly. I got a Discord. I think I set up a bot command for my YouTube where I post past videos. Maybe I didn't do that one yet. But it's just bit.ly/Tim's YouTube. Real easy to remember. But yeah, thank you all so much. I will be streaming again hopefully Sunday. If not Sunday, definitely February 11th. All day. Stop by for that one. We'll have giveaways. We'll have 5 flights in a row. Should be quite an adventure. So I'll stick around and chat for a couple minutes and hang out with people. But thanks so much.